Warning. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Black people don't produce nothing. Black people ain't got no culture. Family, our most exploited production is what we do naturally. Let's talk about it. What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, I get so sick and tired of the same people saying the same thing over and over about our culture, but yet when you look globally, we're the most influential people around the world. Everybody is mimicking our culture. And people would just think, oh, well, you're just talking about music. Oh, well, no. I need everybody to understand how influential we are. Think about it like this. Foundational Black Americans are roughly 15% of the U.S. population. The U.S. is roughly about 4 to 5% of the global population. Okay? Yet, our cultural forms originating in our goddamn communities shape global music structure, youth fashion cycles, slang and linguistic trends, athletic aesthetics, dance formats, internet meme language. We quite literally are the driving forces behind all of these things. All of them. And yes, music is a small piece of it. But when you think about how our music have affected the globe, no other culture has done so. Let's talk about it like this. Let me break it down in this manner, right? So blues, that's the foundation of all modern popular harmonies. Jazz has been basically what? Improvisational and rhythmic expansion across the world globally. And we all know rock is basically rhythm and blues lineage, right? It rhythm and blues created rock. Well, in a sense, let's put it like that, because you could say rhythm and blues created rock and rock created rhythm and blues, but the truth of the matter is it was all the same. R&B is global pop vocal style now. And hip hop, well, you know, that's just a dominant global youth genre. And everybody knows it. Hip hop in particularly, though, has become a global operating system. Countries from France to Japan to Brazil all have rap industries modeled after foundational Black American cadence. Our flow structures, our fashion codes, our visual language, they're copying and mimicking all of those things. You see, people like Michael Jackson and your Beyoncés, you know, they don't just sell records. They exported performance archetypes. So when people look at them, that's the blueprint for them. Now we're going to get into a few things. We're going to get into a few video clips here. And I want to just highlight exactly what I mean. And then I'll come back and break down some other things like, language and internet culture and how, we didn't change that up. We're going to talk about fashion and why it is so relatable across the globe. I mean, our culture, that is. And then we're going to talk about the whole soft power of the situation, because whether people know it or not, outside of weaponry and things like that, our culture is the most exported thing outside of America. America has been using our culture as soft power for decades. So we're going to get into all of that. But first, we're going to start right here with the music. And we're going to get into these clips that I have here, where you see nothing but foundational Black American culture being once again exploited. Let's get into it, family.
Yeah. 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 Double C on my shirt, you know it's real, so bitch keep fucking on me. I never did this shit, don't drop on me, make it fucking on straight, keep it deal. Keep doing hot shit, smoking on the pipe straight. If you never see me, that's me, you'll feel. Keep working hard, day bro, dressing that way, you know the gang, baby girl on the still. Hold up, gang. 看不见我委屈摔在街头，我不想跟你来一遍，你说跟我白头 ，bro， 发现赢了我又重新再找源头。嘘，那些小弟娃都快给我爬，你身边那个 bitch 来自拉萨，我早已经玩腻了，他不说话，过几天就为了能继续花 ，yeah。4 keep a block， 4 keep a block， 4 keep a block， 4 keep a block。Gucci on the face, you know that's a real late. Heard you got a girlfriend, but her come from deep sick. Young boy, trapping on beat, yeah, that's fake. Running on the game, never been too late. Hey! Live for the money， 把钱带回家里，没时间去应对社交的 party， 把边角料全部都打包好，谁写歌还得用假音脚，我不点名了，你好自为之，心知肚明是怎么回事。上一次发定位怎么没来？那是断了猪肘或摔了腿子，穿个破烂就叫 vintage， 中古店淘来的不就是84人衣服？漂洋过海，所有你特别的真心用加速器盖 happy ditch， 风味再烂也不是几头，不想听扯的借口理由，看到我出现了习惯性低下头，是不想做的歌没有以后。从现在出发到全球的各地去，按下缓慢降落后座玻璃，在车里玩游戏，移动的电竞放手柄俩全部都存放在抽屉，我不用休息，你看着就好了，吃掉对手，没拿个炮的托，真金白银不是掺水的炒作，暴力的手段在隐秘的角落，女孩在舌头上打了个钉子，我手表上五颜六色必须镶钻，你名字也出现过几次，在大家视线里不过是小众的网站。若想人不知，除非寂寞为。常在河边走路，难怪是裤腿。
All right, family. So y'all saw that, and y'all also saw that in this dude speaking, rapping, dancing, dressing. He's even using our language. Let's talk about it because, this leads into the whole language of internet culture versus AAVE, or basically not AAVE. Sorry. Let's just make sure we call it for what it is. Ebonics. You hear him in the background talking about it's lit. You hear him in the background talking about cap. These are all things that they get from us. Woke, shade, period. It's giving. Everything that we create, these folks take in, it follows the process. And it follows the process in a way of innovation. We innovate, right? And then it becomes globally accepted. And then it becomes a mimicking situation. That is the process that all of these things follow. Let's go here.
Crazy. 甘いようで少しビターこの笑顔に隠す牙見た目で判断できない We are crazy kids that diva Positive vibes only どいつもこいつもゾンビ愛してる people はこっちヘイトを一人ぼっち半端な感情なんかじゃ伝わらないバレバレ太陽 break no life くだらない情熱と努力は裏切らない常に be honest これはアドバイス初めて感じた気持ち今も覚えてるそんなよ日はない special to me Baby light my fire I love it, love it, love it まるでファンタジーのチュポペポペポペ私がいるの See forever, ever, ever, ever Forever We can set us set Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free Want it, want it Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free Want it, want it誰も知らないメロディー愛する人のためのエナジー日々の傷癒すこれは君のアロマテラピー2時間の映画じゃ収まらない世界が感動するような My life 本当はみんな crazy 理性で隠しても隠しきれないスーパーパワー気づいてる You know きっと多分 maybe 確信はないけどここでは理想の世界だって作れるわ初めて感じた気持ち今も覚えてるそうだよ日はない special to me Baby light my fire I love it, love it, love it まるでファンタジーのチュポペポペポペ私がいるの See forever, ever, ever, ever Forever We can set us set Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free Want it, want it Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free Want some fun, get free You want it, you want it I love it Show me everything you got Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah I can see 全て捧げる Oh yeah
All right, family. So here you have your little, I don't know if they're Japanese or Chinese version of Destiny's Child here. And what did I say? Everything that you would see from us, these people are quite literally mimicking. Quite literally. You know, even look at their fashion aesthetics in this situation, right? They don't look like they're Asian. They're not dressed up in typical Asian garb, no matter where they're from. They're not dressed like Chinese women. They're not dressed like Japanese women. They're not dressed like North Korean women. They're not dressed like South Korean women. They're dressed like foundational Black Americans. And they do this often. The streetwear culture, sneakers, oversized fits, shoot, athletic wear. All of these things largely was popularized by foundational Black Americans. Once again, innovation, mainstream adoption, and then global replication. That's the process that these people follow. Let's go here.
Yuki. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 지바. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
So that's another one, family. I'm going to show you just a few more things here, and then we're going to narrow this down. This young lady, and like I said, our culture is not just globally exported, but people get to eat off of it. They mimic us, and then they monetize the mimicry. So let's go here, family. This woman plays the piano, and her whole spiel, her whole little niche is playing R&B music intros, asking people to guess what it is. So she's monetizing her content off of our music, even though she does do a good job in playing these things, you know. She's a pianist, you know, and so she has her own talent. But instead of playing music that she would hear in her country, instead of playing music, classical music like Asians are known for, usually when you have an Asian piano player or a pianist, they lean towards more classical music, the Bachs, the Mozarts, and the Beethovens, and things like that. But when they want to really monetize it, it's stuff like this.
Close your eyes. I don't know. Undeniable. I would never find another.
Now that was the first one, family. Like I said, this is her niche.
Sometimes it ooh, yeah. Scrub is a guy with we got would like to get to know.
And family, like I said, when it's time to monetize, they know what to do. So for anybody to say that we aren't the most influential people across the globe, that our culture is the most influential culture across the board, especially for a group of people who's only 15% of a population that's only 4 to 5% of the world's population. We're the shit. I'm gonna speed run these last 3 video clips I want to show you. Well, it's actually 4, but these next 3 are actually just dances. So we're gonna get into it. Let's go.
Cali's back, the bass alive. Playing with stupid since Mac great that. Gas pedal, make the car rise. Turn the speakers up and let the thing swing on each side. Let your shoulder link, burn rubber. Show them how we doing over California. Hit the J12 and getting saucy in the town. And if you don't know, we about to show you how. Swag me out, love. With my bad bitches, got me ballin'. Swag in, swag out, so we all let it. Check daddy out. How do you think? 1, 2, 3, let's go. What? My dogs got some green bitches here parking up. Young nigga like clean, but they never want to part. I'm in the bus, we bustin' back to God. Yeah, that triple X, get that ready for your locks. And if it's trigger jack, it's your lock.
So family, you know what? Let's do that again. Family, I'm not gonna lie, that young lady did a pretty good job. Pretty good job. But she is not the originality of us. She is not the original. We are. So this is my point, family. And I want to make sure I make this very clear. Why are we so adaptable across the globe? When it comes to us being a marginalized group, that typically means we often produce dense cultures, innovations, if that makes any sense, right? So we create culture due to like expression, being survival, being resistance, being identity formation, right? So from the blues emerged from post-slavery trauma, right? Jazz emerged during segregation. And hip hop emerged from economic abandonment. Constraints basically helped us be the most creative people globally. And why it translates and travels so well, is because one, we're rhythm forward. Our rhythm can cross language barriers. Let that sink in. Our rhythms can break down language barriers. Usually our music is youth-centered. So it is the language of rebellion, because that's what youth-centered typically means. Our youth bringing the expression of survival, the expression of, resistance and identity formation. We're also a very performative people. We're visually expressive. That's why people like Michael Jackson is revered all over the globe. It wasn't just the music. It was what he did visually that translated well across the globe. And then we're easy to remix. Let's just call it for what it is. We're very easy to remix. People see us and they study us. And once they get what we do down packed, once they get our cadence down packed, then they mimic us. It is that simple. And everyone across the globe does it. They do. And all of that put together makes us adaptable across the world culturally. That's why everybody says that we don't have a culture, because they're already adapting parts of our culture into theirs. They just don't want to admit that. Let's go here, family. This will be the last clip before we close out.
This is the latest example of what Black Americans are talking about. Everybody else in the world claims that we have no culture, that we've never contributed anything to society, that we do not know where we're from, we don't have our own identity, but everybody rushes to copy what we're doing. You just heard the music they're listening to and you see their dance moves. And this influencer has over 2 million followers, and on this video alone has over 100,000 likes. And this story plays out all the time, especially on this app. This app was made popular when it debuted in the United States by Black creators, Black American creators, young children who came on this app dancing and performing. And then what happened? White creators and then everybody else copied the Black American creators, and they got the notoriety, they got the following, they built platforms, and they were able to make their bag off the work of Black Americans. Same old story. And here's the latest example. And then you have performers like Aziz Ansari and Aquafina, two people I do not care for, who built their careers off of acting Black and speaking Black. And then once their careers hit a certain level of success, they shed it as they continue on. Black Americans, again, don't tolerate anybody telling you that you have no culture, that you don't know your history, you don't have any identity, that you do not contribute, because this is Exhibit A. For us being the dregs of humanity, people constantly watch us and observe us so that they can appropriate what we do, steal it, and then they gain popularity, notoriety, wealth, and fame from it. And Black Americans, I know we're tired of it. And I'm going to keep calling it out every time I see it. Black Americans don't have a culture. Y'all don't contribute anything. Just show them this.
Shout out to that brother, Brother Rage. Much love to him, because he has been keeping his foot on people's necks about this type of situation. And this is why I wanted to make sure that I did this here today. We're going to put an end to all of that nonsense. We're going to put an end to all of these people who are actively appropriating our culture, putting it into their own culture, and then telling us we have none. No. You can copy all you want, but you will never be able to paste the greatness that we exhibit, the greatness of innovation that we protrude. You will never be able to do so. But feel free to keep trying. With that being said, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Family, please let me know what you think of this in the comment. I look forward to reading everything you all have to say. But with that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm off.